Hi, I'm Chrane. So we've been experimenting some on the stream this evening and come to some conclusions about the rule set, the first draft basically of the rules for the Digimon Nuzlocke for Time Stranger that we posted yesterday. And we have had to change quite a few things already, actually. It turns out some of that stuff doesn't feel great in practice. Even though I love the idea of de-digivolving when you get defeated, there are so many things associated with that makes it very complicated. One of the workarounds I had was that to remember the evolution line that I had going and where I needed to get back to after being defeated, I named my Digimon the first 3 letters of all their forms. So, for Botamon, Koromon, Agumon, if that's the evolution line, your Digimon would be named Bot, Kor, Agu, Mon. We add Mon at the end for fun. And that would be his name, right? So then you can see the full evolution line and you know where to get back to when he gets defeated, and you defeat bosses to get back to it. And honestly, I feel like it's a very fun idea and concept. However, I feel like that's almost like an extra challenge mode, kind of like an egg lock or a wonder lock. I made the ultimate decision to call it an AdventureLocke, because you're essentially playing it like the anime. But here is what we have going right now for the updated rule set, right? So difficulty, we're still playing on hard. Turns out that the Raremon fight, just after the demo ends, is kind of a wall. I had an Agumon and a Tentamon on my team, and they could finally defeat him when I did some grinding to level 10. So that helped, but it's still quite difficult. It's still not as easy as you would like it to be, you know? It requires some grinding, some luck with what you find. One of the people in chat had like 6 attempts at that fight, I think. I did spend like an insane amount of grinding to get to 10, and that kind of made it work. So I don't know if that fight is like a hard wall, but it seems like it at this point, but we'll see. We're gonna try it a bit more. Full team wipe, game over, still the same. No repeat Digimon, only for rookies and up. So early in the game, you're gonna get a lot of in Training 1 and in Training 2 Digimon. And if you're following duplicate clause at the start of the game, you're gonna risk basically bricking 3 teammates possibly at the start. So we kind of want to avoid that. So no repeat Digimon for rookie and above is the current situation with that. Meaning that if you have an Agumon and a Koromon, the Koromon cannot turn into Agumon. He has to turn into the next thing that becomes available after. Only 1 Digimon per area. You can target farm reset rooms, but it's harder. It's the same. Only first 200% in the area is converted into a teammate. It's the same. First available digivolution is the one we choose. Yes, if you unlock multiple ones, you basically do a random number generator. You pick a range between 1 to 3 or 1 to 4 and stuff like that. And then you let that pick, or you let chat pick. It's whichever is the most fun for you. You have to convert Outer Dungeon Digimon to data. We haven't gotten there yet, but I still feel like that's necessary. No DLC dungeon grinds. I could be convinced to remove that. Basically, a great point was brought up where Nuzlocke players use a bunch of rare candies to get to specific levels. You would kind of do the same thing by farming, are they called Brave Points? The save discs? I think they're called Brave Points. That would basically be the same thing as rare candies. So I guess I could see an argument for actually using the DLC to grind XP. But also, like, getting over leveled will wreck this, but there's also not a perfect way to have like a max allowed level at this point. Because I was like 3 levels above the rare Mon boss, and we barely made it through that fight. And I had 2 vaccine Digimon, and he's virus, you know? So it's difficult to know if there even should be a level cap introduced into this rule set or not. When we have more info and know more about all the levels and how this all works in practice, then maybe we can start looking into level caps and stuff like that. But for now, I feel like we don't need to focus on that too much. No load enhance, I stand by that to this point. Augment chips are okay, yeah. Number 10, no items in combat, unless it's a quest item. It just makes it too easy if you can start using items. We definitely ran into a problem where we needed to be able to heal the team somehow, but we didn't really have a tool to do it. But if we're gonna be using items, it's gonna be like, okay, so how many do we allow per fight? What type of items can you use in combat? And it's like, it's better just not use items at all, in my opinion. It makes it less complicated. It makes it harder, but it makes it less complicated. And like, not as many tertiary rules, basically. So for now, no items in combat, unless it's a quest item, which is like one specific instance, but I put it in there to, you know, make sure. No running from combat. Yep. No farm, items, personality, or stats. It's only the farm you send the dead to. That's all it is. So no farm. 13, talk to Digimon to change personality. Again, no farm. We'll see how I feel about that later on, depending on how useful personality would be. I don't know. Maybe we should allow it, but I also don't want every physical attacker to be brave and every special attacker to be whichever that is. And if you use the farm, you can start going after specific personality skills, which I also feel like defeats the purpose and makes it way too easy. So for now, I'm staying firm on number 13. 14, only allowed to use attachment skills that Digimon learn through leveling in current and prior forms, like a skill tree. Yeah, so this one might cause some confusion and stuff like that, but basically, it's kind of the same idea as like Squirtle learns these moves, and then he evolves to Wartortle, and Wartortle learns these moves. Then he turns into Blastoise, and Blastoise learns these moves. That's kind of the point, like what I'm going for with that, with point number 14. So that, like, the Digimon you get basically set you down a certain path. Like, you get a Digimon from the game, and it's like, this is what you're gonna be dealing with. This is your cross to bear. And that's why I feel like 14 is kind of an important one, even. And I think the same should go for Agumon when he's on your team. The only thing I'm not firm on is how we're gonna deal with his evolutions. Like, do we force change when we get every time we get a new one, or do we straight up just stay in Crimson all the time because it's the first one you get? I don't know. Maybe you could also just pick one for him. Like, I'm not yeah, I don't know how to deal with that one yet. It's not a problem we've had to look into so far. And the first Titamon is no wipe, but deaths still count. I got a comment that said it's a forced loss. It's not. You can beat that fight. So yeah, it's like, if you wipe, the game still continues, but you can win the fight and not wipe. But yeah, deaths still count in that fight, but it's not a game over if you lose because the game continues. Is basically rule number 15. So here's where we differentiate a bit. Up here with AdventureLocke, this is all the strange, different stuff that we had in the main rule set before. Now, I feel like it works better as like a special Nuzlocke, like a wow, brain completely skipping out on me here, like an egg lock or a soul lock or any type of special Nuzlocke rule set. Basically, the AdventureLocke could fill the same function as one of those. So we moved, if a Digimon faints, it's back to in training 1. If you can't de-digivolve, it's to the farm until it's possible. All in-training Digimon are caught once for field guide entry, return to data. In training 2 can be caught to de-digivolve to 1. When a story boss is defeated, the fallen, the de-digivolved can digivolve once. And then, finally, the first Titamon fight is no wipe, however deaths are still turned into training 1. So basically we took a lot of the rules from the main rule set and moved it down to like its separate things. So that, like, this whole thing, the AdventureLocke, is basically the main rule set plus this, putting it all together. And that's kind of where we're at this point. And King in chat is actually bringing up a decent idea. He's suggesting, sorry, I'm not all there right now. He's suggesting that you could do personality change in the farm, but you can't skip the training timer, which I think is interesting. And I would love some feedback on that in the comments if people have opinions on it. And I would be open to that. But we'll see. We'll bring that back to the table in the next revision when we get some feedback on that. Because I feel more like just no farm is a simpler, just, you know, it makes this list look more readable if it's just no farm. No farm. But I can absolutely see an argument for that, so I'm curious to see what other people think. Absolutely. But yeah, that's where we're at right now. I'm gonna be live tomorrow and for the rest of the weekend again around 6 p.m. Central Europe time, Europe summertime, whatever it's called. I don't know. It's GMT2 right now. Basically, it's noon East Coast US and 9 a.m. West Coast US. You figure it out. You have a clock, you know? So that's when we're attempting it again. We're going to be starting from the beginning using this updated rule set and see how it feels. And the VOD for today is available where you can see how the first run with the AdventureLocke stuff implemented went. Where we do some scouting for the boss fights and generally try to see how everything works, if it works, should it work, you know, all that stuff. So, on that note, YouTube, thank you so much for watching. Please give me some feedback down below. I would love to hear your opinions on this. Like, comment, subscribe, all that YouTube nonsense stuff that you hear at the end of every video. Punch the notification bell like it owes you lunch money. You know, all that jargon stuff you hear every time. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. Appreciate you. Take care of yourself, and I'll see you next time. Bye.